we gonna go in?
Yeah, but there's a couple of things I want to do first.
아직 안 끝났구나. 괜히 끝났네.
It's a path leads up to the house.
모든 단서 수집과 단서는 2개 남았고 혐의는 하나 남았네. 프레이야의 방에 선물 친 게 있다네요. 감도 안 오시고.
Painting supplies.
Even though someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
Painting supplies. We already solved it.
That's weird.
Why did you find
Nothing. They're completely... Do you think...
I don't know.
No windows either. Brushes...
They're clean, but they look...
Do you
I don't know.
No windows either. Drawings.
What's that one?
Looks like two people. One of them's holding a red rose.
아, 이걸 못 봤어. 이런 프레이야의 그림, 프레이야의 방. 청원에 있던 뽀삐와 피츠를 그린 그림이다. 피츠가 빨간 장미를 들고 있다. 피피를 그린 그림이다. 탐정 확셔를 그린 그림이다. 아하. 피한테 가볼까?
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
아. 하는구만. 자, 그 다음에 탐정, 그 다음에 피츠로 갑시다.
When did Freya draw the
I
picture?
didn't model for her. She must have done it without...
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others. Fits one of these in the rooftop garden with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
주저하지 못할 건 알고 있었지. 애초에 뭐 협조할 게 있지도 않았고.
Hey,
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
is there something wrong?
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one.
Yes.
네가 밝혀지기에 난 지금 보고 있네. 뽀삐와 피츠, 아예 있기야 하지. 근데
There must be some way to get.
아, 퍼즐 하나 안 풀었지 내가.
It's
I
locked.
thought
We are.
What's that thing by the hand?
아, 나 알 것 같아.
Let's come back once we...
아하. 내가 까먹고 있었어. 퍼즐 하나를.
A big glass leads out.
There's a little mechanism.
그럼 피츠.
Something happened.
That must be it. And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
아하.
It's locked.
I thought
we are.
What's that thing by the...
완전히
made a noise.
I
까먹고
guess that was
있었어.
right. Finally.
Whatever's on the other side, better.
얘가 정원인가 보네.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue, and they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
뮤트 동상, 옥상 정원. 뮤트를 들고 있는 약간 낡은 괴상한 생물체의 동상. 동상의 머리에 귀마개가 쓰여져 있다.
Giant stone frog. Love it.
Yeah, he's got his tongue out like
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
4개의 깃털. 이 깃털들은 대부분 석조개구리의 혀주에서 찾았다.
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it. That's It's one big
Or
dragon.
one very small dragon. It's the door.
One of only two
Oh,
ways.
yeah.
It's so relaxed. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep. See those metal bars around the edges?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of
The
loose...
roses are bright.
aren't...
Exactly. It's so I might just stay.
Oh.
More eggs.
I don't get it.
Well, either they have or the sculptor was just really
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape. More eggs.
I don't get
well,
it.
an egg has got to be the
It's a rose bush, growing on a
The
little...
roses are bright.
aren't...
Exactly.
It's a rose... Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side.
Exactly. It's a two-person bed.
What makes it a... It looks pretty...
하이.
That- There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. Most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds...
Most of them are rather ordinary.
What happened to the...
That.
So... Yeah, we found this.
Oh, That's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses. And who they belong to. It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at. But it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
안 어울리는 두 쌍이네. 얘네도.
One of Penny's almost. Maybe.
하지만 성공하지
One of
못했다.
Penny's almost.
돈을 훔치진 않았을 거.
One of almost.
살인도 아닐 것 같고.
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden. Let's take a closer look at these. This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Are we done?
For now, it's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
끝났나? 끝났나? 그래서 이 편지는 결국 뭐였던 거지?
A little chart. Actually, I have no idea what
이건 어디다 쓰인
What do you
거?
make?
Not a whole lot.
또 삐피의 칠판도 되게 이상했어.
A chalkboard?
Is this a library?
봐봐.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
들어갑시다. 딱히 더 볼 것도 없을 것 같네.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
아우. 지하. 땡글 타워. 아우. 이게 막 들어오면 안 될 것 같아 보이지.
Chemistry apparatus. What's in there? It's a little diagram of a beetle.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
그러게 무슨
9 beetles.
원래
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes, mostly numbers. No.
이렇게 생겼냐?
Hand-drawn entomology charts. Hand-drawn entomology charts.
어,
It's so I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
존나 쎄하다 진짜. 아,
A candle.
Very medieval.
I was thinking-
Medieval pirates.
medieval pirates.
It's I can barely tell what I'm looking at. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
그래 이거 아까 그거네.
Is that a periodic
No, but it does kind of look like one.
What are those symbols?
이거 별자리잖아.
They're alchemic symbols, mostly based on the planets, the sun, the moon, stuff like that.
Huh.
아이작 하면서 아까 그거 두 개네.
This looks like
Didn't we see those same symbols in the green?
reminds
The
me.
one from the chalkboard.
Yeah.
PP랑 연관이 없을 수가 없겠구만.
It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. It looks like liquid is ice. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside.
I like that you called them rooms.
A cracked each one.
I like that you called them rooms. Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking
I'm
thing.
pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
야, 지린다. 이게 아니어 보이지? 아니면 여기에 뭐가 있다던가? 그럴 리는 없나? 이거 잘 만들었다, 이 포즈는. 이건 아닌 것 같지. 이걸 수밖에 없어 보이는데 여기에 맞는 게 무엇이냐가 문제가 되겠지. 이거 일리는 없을 것 같고, 이것도 사실 좀 이상해. 대각선으로 밀라고? 이거 말하는 거 맞지? 이거 이렇게 하려는 수밖에 없어 보이지? 아닌가? 맞나 보다. 쭉 올라가야 하니까. 잠깐만. 됐어. 아니야. 이상한데. 이거랑도 딱히 연결되는 건 없어. 이걸 이동하기에도 애매하고, 여기까지 왔는데도 쭉 내려올 만한 건 이거? 이걸로 뭘 어쩔 수 있다는 건지 모르겠어. 여기서도 마찬가지고. 생각보다 어렵네. 어쩌면 아닌 것 같은데, 이건. 와, 나 어렵네, 이거. 이건가? 근데 이것도 되게 부자연스러운데. 아무리 봐도 이건데 쭉 이어주는 게 필요하거든. 다시 해보자.
Reset the puzzle?
여기서부터 맞추는 게 맞는 것 같아. 이건 아니야. 이것도 아닌 것 같은데. 이러면 큰 의미는 없어 보여. 오, 이거 같은데. 아닌가? 이걸 수밖에 없을 것 같은데. 아니 뭐 어려. 그거 같은데.
Nothing.
I think we're trying to make a path between the key and lock symbols on either side.
그건 저도 압니다. 이러면 딱 맞네.
That's the
Hey,
one.
not bad. Anything inside?
Yeah. More research.
비밀 연구물 실험실. 연구 노트 및 도표가 든 폴더. 1. 우리 고유의 동식물은 아직 알려지지 않은 수많은 화학물질의 부산물이다. 2. 이 화학물질은 물속에 끊임없이 존재하며 구름을 형성하고 호수를 채운다. 이것은 식물과 동물의 다양한 돌연변이를 일으킨다. 거미류. 3. 거미류, 곤충, 연체동물, 양서류 및 갑각류 같은 작은 생물이 가장 큰 영향을 받는다. 언제나 화학물질은 먹이사슬에 따라 올라가서 새와 파충류에게도 돌연변을 일으킬 수 있다. 우리가 아는 한 포유류는 완전히 영향권 외이다. 존나 세야.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's incomplete.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using
I
it.
guess not a lot of people know.
Right. But if Pointer's the only, why would he need to lock his research in
He's
a
just
safe?
paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
그럴 리가.
Pointer? Nope.
그럴 리가 있나.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
아, 더 있어?
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
금속 막대 가장 아래층. 매끄러우면서도 견고한 금속 막대. 누군가 이것으로 사진을 찔렀다. 막대의 끝은 마치 화살이나 시계바늘처럼 뾰족하고 구부러졌다. 뒤쪽에는 짧은 길이의 빨간 밧줄이 연결된 작은 고리가 달려있다. 금속은 완벽하게 깨끗하고 튼튼하다. 이거 그거네.
So what's the photo?
손상된 사진 가장 아래층. 액자에 있지만 약간 젖어 있다. 사진 속엔 한 소녀가 있다. 그 옆엔 한 남자가 앉아 있다. 그 주위로 빨갛고 하얀색 몇 마리가 있다. 금속 물체가 사진을 찌른 상태이다. 남자의 가슴 근처에 구멍이 나 있다.
Do you know who it is in the photo? This man. He reminds me of something from one of our
볼까 쭉?
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
잠깐만.
Lord Fellow.
Really?
Wait, no, hang on.
Felix made a little model of him.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know Lord Remington.
Remington.
어.
That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
It's an old coat rack.
2 cloaks. And a green hat draped on top for good.
Basements don't
We're
normally...
at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right, but if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Basements don't normally...
We're at the bottom of the lake. It must be.
Right, but if that's the lake bed,
Like
white,
what?
no plants, that's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Old
How
car-
exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty. Old
How
car-
exciting.
They're also empty. Basements don't...
We're at the bottom of the
Right, but
lake.
if
Like
that's
what?
white, no plants, that's not what a lake looks like.
Gives off
What do
kind-
people actually use chains for?
Nothing good. This room looks like old.
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern.
Gives off kind of a dungeon vibe.
What do people actually use chains for?
Nothing good. Gives off
What
kind
do
nothing good.
호수.
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty, though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late. A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
어린이 책. 가장 아래층. 하늘과 바다의 미스티드. 어린이용 그림책 매우 오래된 것 같다. 얼룩새, 은뱀, 영혼전달자, 영혼전달자요? 양서구리. 얼룩새, 빨갛고 하얀 깃털에 우아한 새, 은뱀, 눈이 없고 대신 긴 혀를 가진 수생 파충류, 영혼전달자. 뭐야, 영혼전달자 치곤 이름치곤 꽤 평범하네. 각 크기가 다른 집게발을 가진 개, 양서구리, 두 발로 걷는 개구리같이 생긴 생물체. 아,
There's a roll of paper.
I'll see if
Let
I
me
can-
guess. Blank.
oh.
The library. The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it? A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room, isn't it? A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. It's the aviary. Music room. Storage.
It's Freya's room.
The rooftop garden. That name makes a little more sense in this context. The rooftop. That name makes a little more. That's the room we're in now. It's not labeled as
I
anything.
think it already existed when this was made. It's the room above us.
The laboratory?
Yeah. This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
건축 계획도 가장 아래층. 미스티드 저택, 북쪽 횡단면 구역. 계획도가 그려진 양피지가 말려있다. 대저택의 건축 계획도이다. 수평선은 과거 호수의 수위이며 두 번째 표시는 현재 수위이다. 저택은 기둥이 지탱하는 호수 위 큰 구조물 위에 지어졌다. 프레이야의 방은 창고라고 적혀있다. 중심부에 연구실이라고 적혀있는 방이 있다.
Let's head back. I want to find that lab. Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
Let's not wander off right now.
가볼까?
Let's look for. It's somewhere.
The room was marked on the building plans we found.
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on. It's pitch black, but I think there's a switch. A ladder.
Want to go up?
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? Ugh. You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
그 영혼 강탈자인가 그거네.
This crab really
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's... I think I've seen it more recently.
Is that a...
It's got
Also, crap. I guess
I don't think we need
What do you
to.
mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file. This crab really...
That-
Yeah,
I
I think I've seen
아이
it more.
귀찮게. 열렬 다시.
It's got
Also, perfect. What's this?
something somebody didn't want us to find. What is it?
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already.
That doesn't...
We need something that could...
제 거라는 건가? 아니지. 쟤가 범죄일 수도 있는 거지.
I think that... But not this part.
아니, 아이, 쟤기라니.
What do you make of it?
Not sure.
You don't think the cross...
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely... But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery. Some kind of
If
fish.
that's a bird, talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it? Some kind of...
That's...
Well, how about we stop talking about it?
4.5m 세대거리. 개 무섭네 이것도.
Centipede? How many legs?
Too many. Those
Some
are...
of them are disconcertingly large.
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing?
Those...
Some of
At
them
least
are
they're...
sure that's a good thing. Who are all...
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like their eyes have all been crossed out.
단단한 단체 사진 연구실. 단단한 나무 액자 속 사진 먼지 투성이이며 오래된 것 같다. 액자 밑에 노쇠판에 적힌 것은 미스티드 저택의 대표자들. 사진 속에는 2명의 여성과 3명의 남성이 다양한 스타일의 옷을 입고 있다. 5명 모두의 얼굴이 까맣게 잉크 칠되어 있다.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
아까 그거 뭐 되게 이상한 거 있었잖아. 양서구리 이건가 보네.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle.
Honestly, doesn't...
I'm more worried about the third
The
one.
third
The one
one?
that isn't there. An axe and some kind of hunting rifle mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't
The
there.
third one.
It's a wooden pin hung up on one of
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
아니 이거 탐정이 생각보다 큰 역할을 하고 있네.
It's a wooden
It
hung up.
looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
메모판 연구실. 중앙에 큰 종이가 붙여져 있다. 중앙의 빈 곳에서 3개의 선이 그려져 나와 있다. 아래에는 망토를 입은 실루엣으로 보이는 작은 그림이 있다. 오케이.
An incinerator built. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left
It's
inside?
mostly ashes. Yeah, there's something.
깃털이 있네. 불에 탄 물건들 연구실. 그냥 먼지와 잿더미이다. 잿더미 속에는 검은 버튼이 몇 개 있다. 버튼? 단추겠지. 빨간색의 천 조각이 아직 보인다. 이건 깃털 같은데.
Coffee table, half empty.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
노트, 연구실, 여러 페이지가 찢어져 있지만 몇 페이지는 남아있다. 5번째 대표자를 찾았다. 드디어 그다지 기대는 하지 않았지만 역시 실망하고 말았다. 나머지와 다를 바가 없어. 내 미스티드 친구를 실험을 위해 음악실로 데려갔다. 성공적이었다. 어쩌면 너무나도. 실험실조차 실망을 안겨줬다. 무엇 때문에 그 노력을 들인 거지? 그는 내가 생각했던 것보다 훨씬 근시안이었다. 치아에 갔다. 전망이 좋다. 대부분 사라진 상태지만 내가 원하는 것은 얻었다. 그녀가 들어왔었다. 조심해서 아무것도 움직인 것은 없다. 하지만 난 알지. 때가 왔다.
Someone's been using this room.
생각보다
Coffee table, half empty. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
An incinerator
Is there?
Yeah, there's something.
아이책이란.
Coffee table. I'm gonna say
Someone complacent
Hi.
enough to leave their notebook
내
lying
처음 거
around.
한번 다시 들으려는데.
coffee table, half empty wine
Lamp.
bottle.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around. Nice chair.
It's still warm.
Maybe it's just heat from the incinerator.
Maybe. You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3. A wooden stool.
Oh, this door.
Do those look like scratch marks to you? On the glass?
Yeah, they're on the inside. That's a bookcase.
What a surprise. Those aren't,
Some
at
of
least
them-
they're all...
You sure that's a good thing? They called this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of doom. That's a bookcase. It's mostly empty.
What a surprise.
아니 이거 진짜 레이튼 같네 이런 거.
I don't
좋다.
get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know. That
We
doesn't...
need something that could attach.
에? 아이고.
I think that, but not this part. The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
프레이야.
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting.
프레이야가 안 죽은 건가? 그쵸 아닌데 그럴 리가 없지 않나? 사람이 죽었는데.
But it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
아이 깜짝깜짝 놀라.
Time to solve this.
얘는 신발을 신발을 신고 있는 거야? 안 신고 있는 거야?
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless... Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
나 감게 아무한테나 막 보여주고 다녔는데 찔린 사람이 있었을 거란 소리네? 이미 살해당한 거면 굳이 이 지랄을 할 필요가 있나?
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to
얘네
fall
둘 다
unconscious.
무려.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
아니야, 이건 안 깨졌어. 모르겠는데? 꽃 같은 게 아닌 이상?
That's not it.
그러니까
That's not it.
그럴 리가.
That's not it.
그러니까. 아 근데 그럴싸한 게 없단 말이야.
That's not it.
아니 뭐지? 뭐가 들어있었어? 감이 안 오네? 뭐가 들어있었을까? 깃털? 깃털로 사람 둘이 다 기절할 수가 있나? 모르겠단 말이야.
That's not it.
아이 나 진짜 모르겠어. 아 이건가?
Pointer's research
그렇구만.
says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But
Ah,
don't forget,
그렇구만.
it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the
아, 이게
gramophone.
깨진
That broken
게
glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too. Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were
그래서
in
다
that
깨져
room.
있었구만.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
헤드셋
They protected themselves.
How?
조각상에 있던 거.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start.
범위도
1.
확 줄여진
Freya
것
is
같은데?
painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
Not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations.
그러면 범인은 3명 중에 1명
Freya lands on her
가능성이
back.
확
She drops the
높아지지.
brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
Let's go back to the crime scene.
저 끄고 가라. 아우 깜짝이야.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
피 관련된 건 해결이 안 됐지 아직.
And it's dark. And it's dark.
I can see the stars. The plant, it's in the book.
What?
Look!
에?
I can see the stars.
나 감이 안 와.
And it's dark.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
프레이야는 당연히 죽었지. 내가 아까 그 소리를 왜 했냐면 그 프레이야가 그림 그리면 혹시
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink-dip feather?
It was here, in this room. Where'd it go?
found it somewhere else. We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene and ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access?
새.
The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here. It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it. Then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
뭐지? 이거? 이거?
That's not it.
에이.
That's not it. That's not it.
띠용? 뭐지? 생각해보자. 뭐가 이상하지? 뭐라고 하기엔 좀 와, 모르겠다.
That's not it.
에?
That's not it.
나 모르겠어. 왜 이렇게 어렵지 갑자기? 생각을 해보자. 플로라는 사라진 깃털을 어디 갔는지 알아낼 수 있는 단서를 남겨뒀대.
That's not it.
아이씨, 뭔데?
That's not it.
이것도 아니라고?
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
아이, 미친. 진짜? 안 쓴 색은 노란색이지. 아, 설마 이게 새인가? 화분이 아니라?
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
아, 하긴
Something in the
식물이 떨어졌다고 생각하지 않는다.
Oh.
아이, 뭐야?
There she is, our little thief.
How long has it been? Did it hear the...
She did, but she's a very good listener. Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention? Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
I just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
아, 그렇네. 가상의 인물이었네.
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets, nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer? I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night, deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end, the paint would peel, wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
뭔지 설명해 주나? 모른다 해보자.
What?
As I expected. After all, their connection to the Freya case is minimal, at least at the surface.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term, from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids. Like cryptids? Like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones. The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
That's not right.
So, where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Ha! It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted? That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona.
The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
What's going?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see. You two, all right?
My head hurts.
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.